Happy Front Row Friday, everybody. It's Marilyn Sherman coming to you from my home office in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you are new to Front Row Fridays, well, welcome. My intention is to post a video every Friday, a short video, just to remind you that you deserve a front row seat in your life. And with the right perspective and the right mindset, any seat that you're in can be a front row seat. So today's message is imperfection. You know, it's really funny. If you wait until you're perfect to do something, to put yourself out there, to put an idea out there, to put your product or your service out there, if you wait for perfection, you may never actually do it. So today I want you to embrace your imperfection. Now, this does not mean for people who are doing high technical thing like brain surgery. This is not you. I'm talking to the majority of us who every once in a while, we want to take a risk and improve ourselves and put ourselves out there and ask for promotion and ask for a meeting and ask for consideration for a project or whatever it is. I want you to know that you don't have to wait until you're perfect to put yourself out there, or else you will never move up or get ahead. So the example that I like to give, it's kind of embarrassing, is that I saw a speaker when I was still in high school, and I was inspired to go to this motivational retreat. And Dick Anderson was the speaker, and he talked about creating a vision board. And so on my vision board, with my affirmation was, I want to be the youngest author on the Phil Donahue show, which tells you how old I am. And that never happened. But I remember that I really wanted to write a motivational book. Of course, I was really young at the time. I think I was only 18 years old. And my dad thought, well, maybe you should have a little bit of credibility under your belt before you actually try to put yourself out there as an author. But I waited for a long time before I published my first book. In fact, I went to a National Speakers Association meeting in San Diego, and Larry Winget was the speaker that day. And I told him my secret dream was to write this book. And the idea was in my head for about 12 years at that time. And he gave me some advice that made me finish that book immediately. He said, finish your darn book. No one's going to read it anyway. Now, for some of you, you may think that that wasn't very good advice and that wasn't very positive, but here was his message. His message was, don't wait for this book to be perfect, because people want a piece of you when you are walking off stage and you deliver an amazing keynote presentation. They want to go to your book signing table. They want to buy your book, get a picture with you, and then they want to take the piece of that magic that was delivered at that conference or convention, and they want to remember it by taking that home with them. And sometimes they just put the book on the shelf, and just looking at it reminds them of the moment that you had at that event. Now, some people obviously are going to read it, but no one's going to write you and tell you, you've got a typo on page 134. So I finished that book immediately, and it was called Whose Comfort Zone Are You In? How to Lead the Life You Want and Be Happy Every Day. And then it took less time to write my second book, and then it took less time to write my third book. So put yourself out there. It's not going to be perfect. Another piece of advice is, for example, in writing a book, someone told me, don't wait for it to be perfect. In fact, whatever is left out of that first book, just put it in your second book. So there was a way to say, you know what, I am good enough now. This piece is good enough now. I'm going to put it out there. Not everybody will like it, but I'm putting myself out there, and it will be of value to those who take it home. So my message for you today is, don't wait for perfection. I mean, if I would have waited to perfection, I actually would have probably done a little bit more, I would have put more effort into hair and makeup today, but I wanted you to know that being real and being authentic is actually a good thing. And it just shows that no one's perfect. So embrace your imperfection today. In fact, some of you, your imperfection is what makes you stand out. Your imperfection is what makes people be drawn to you. So don't wait for perfection. It's never going to happen. And don't compare yourself to those people on Instagram who look like they have perfect lives, because that certainly is not the case. Have an amazing Front Row Friday, everybody. And as always, let me know what you think. Let me know what you are doing to get a front row seat in your life. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.